Welcome to Season 7, Episode 6 of COMMCast. I'm your host, Matthew Kavanaugh. COMMCast is the production of the Longwood University Communication Studies Department and the COM 434 CommLab class. This show is dedicated to highlighting the Longwood and Farmville communities. Today's episode is about one of the GAN program's newest faculty members. Let's start the show. Joining us on set today is Professor Steve Carpenter, an assistant professor of the graphic and animation design. Thank you, Professor Carpenter, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We know that you graduated from Penn West Edinburgh University. Could you tell us a little bit about what made you decide to pursue this degree? In other words, why did you go into applied media arts and computer animation?
Well, I started in computer science first because I was really good at math, but I always had wanted to do film. And my advisor was the film instructor, and he knew I had a lot of computer background, and so he had me start testing software for him, and that's how I found 3D animation. Mm-hmm.
And you also have other fellow Longwood faculty who also went to Penn West. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, alumni from Penn West would correct you and say Edinburgh University. The Penn West is a change that we don't really like. But we'll go from there.
I understand. You have an IMDb page that shows all of the movies you've worked on. Mm-hmm. Could you give us a couple of the movie or show titles and explain what you focused on during these movies?
Movies, I did a lot of titles. So I did a James Bond, Tomorrow Never Dies. I did a Richard Gere film, so Red Corner. Again, titles. And then I did the titles for a Jamie Lee Curtis film called Virus. I did a lot of commercials as well and a lot of television.
Wow.
So,
awesome.
Effects.
So. Awesome. That sounds really sick. Mm-hmm. So you've only been with us at Longwood for about a year and a half. Mm-hmm. What is your favorite part about teaching, and what makes Longwood the place for you?
The favorite part about teaching is you end up with 20 students who have 20 different personalities, 20 different ideas, and they come at from projects from left field sometimes, and that just keeps it really fun and interesting. I like Longwood. I like the size of it. I feel like students at this university don't feel like they're just a number. They're not one of 50,000. So you get a lot of specialized one-on-one training. So.
And I know having a class with you really get a great one-on-one experience with your professors. So having these small class sizes, I agree with you. It has been incredibly impactful while here at Longwood. So you teach classes in a newer concentration called motion design. What exactly do you teach in your classes, and what does motion design target?
Well, motion design fits between graphic design and animation, so it's kind of a marriage between the two. So we're doing mostly titles. So like for this show, you had a bumper and titles and things like that. So students will do things like that. But motion graphics is you apply animation techniques to text and graphics. So we'll do animated logos, we'll do company splash pages and things like that. So anything that involves text but in motion.
Awesome. And as someone teaching motion design, with the rapid advancement of AI, what do you expect from future GAN students? Will we be implementing AI into future assignments? Will we not? What is your perspective on that?
Well, my take on it is I encourage students to learn AI right now. The big thing about AI is learning to correctly prompt AI. People tend to have short attention spans, and if they don't get the answer they want in the first 2 or 3 times, they quit. And you can't really do that. You have to refine your search, refine your prompt. AI will take some jobs, but again, like I tell my students, the jobs that AI is going to take from GAN students would be from companies that don't have a marketing budget in the first place, so they wouldn't hire you anyway. AI does not have emotion, it never will, and so it's not going to be the same thing. So as an artist, you're connecting with your audience, generally speaking, through an emotional state or an emotional conveyance, and AI is never going to be able to do that. So.
Yeah, and so as a GAN student, AI has been really scary, so you gave a very smart answer that's rather relieving, and I'm sure other GAN students can feel that same way as well. And so outside of the classroom, we heard that you're also an athlete. You're also a champion of your sport. Yes. Could you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you achieved the champion title?
Okay. Well, I've always been athletic. actually at Edinburgh University. I actually ran track and played football. And then I've always stayed in sports. I got into CrossFit for a number of years, but then I don't have the mobility and this flexibility for CrossFit. So I got into Olympic lifting, and then that transferred over into powerlifting. And last year I won for my category at the USPA Nationals in Pittsburgh.
Wow, that's actually incredible. I didn't know that. I didn't know that about you. So for lifting, nutrition is very important for you.
Yes.
So what would you say your ideal post-workout meal be?
Oh, that'd be a cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger?
Yeah, because building up prior to the meet, you'd be more conscious of what you're taking in. And so you're not necessarily doing cheat meals because you need to make sure that you're fueling your body correctly. But once the meat's done, give me a cheeseburger.
What do you put on your cheeseburger?
Just ketchup.
Really?
Just cheese and ketchup.
Wow.
That's all I need.
Interesting. No lettuce,
Nope.
nothing else?
Nope.
Wow, interesting.
Double
I'm gonna
cheeseburger.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that.
That's fine. Then you won't have my burger.
What advice would you give to students or even older adults who want to get into the gym but don't really know how to start?
Find a partner. That way you're holding them accountable and they're holding you accountable. And it's so much harder to not go to the gym if someone's meeting you there than if it's just you by yourself. If you don't go, you don't go. But if you have a workout buddy and they're expecting you to be there, that's much harder to turn down or not go. So I'd find a workout buddy.
Mm-hmm. And so in the GAN program, you have a fellow professor, Professor Douglas. How would you describe your relationship with Professor Douglas?
He has really been a mentor here. Anytime you move to a different university, there's a lot of different procedures and policies and just learning the campus, what building is, where's this building, where's that building. So he's been really helpful in helping me show me the ropes and guide me through. Like this semester, I'm now advising students, and so the system here is different and the procedure is different, the requirements are different. So he's been really helpful with that. And he is my workout buddy.
So speaking of workouts, there's also a powerlifting team at Longwood, is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, the powerlifting team here is a club. It's club level. And so powerlifting is squat, bench, deadlift. And so we meet twice a week as a team and work out. And we definitely give them pointers, and we will work at technique. And everybody's body is different, and so they should move differently in order to more effectively and efficiently move through the lift. And so they've been really encouraging to keep me accountable as well. And because a lot of times, when you're working out, you're just kind of going through it yourself, and you may have your headphones in and you're just doing everything out. But when you're coaching, you really have to pay attention to what you're doing and make sure you're practicing what you preach. Use clips, be safe, use the safety racks, and all that. So it's been fun.
That's some great advice. And I don't go to the gym. Would you have any advice specifically for me as someone who's rather on the weak side?
Just find an exercise that you enjoy doing, that you'll be consistent. Consistency is the key. You don't have to bench 300 pounds to be healthy. But find something that you'll be consistent with, and that way you'll always do it. In our job, our experience, we tend to sit in front of a computer a lot, and you may be working in front of a computer 12, 14 hours a day. You need to have some kind of physical outlet to help with stress and just keep you healthy. So find something you'll be consistent with.
That's some incredible advice. Thank you. And you told some great stories with these questions. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with COMMCast Trivia. It's time for everyone's favorite segment, COMMCast Trivia. We have 5 questions for you today. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, first question. Protein is made of 20 different types of what?
Amino acids.
Amino acids is correct. Great job. Second question. Who is the creative force of one of the Star Wars universe that graduated from Penn West Edinburgh in 1996?
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni is correct. Third question for you. Who deadlifted 510 kilograms to beat his previous record of 505?
Thor.
That is correct. Hafthor Bjornsson. Fourth question for you. What is the official RGB code for Longwood Blue?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I have not looked at that. I have no guess.
You don't even want to try?
Nope, I have no idea.
Well, the correct
darker blue, but I have no idea.
It is a darker blue. The correct answer is red 0, blue 30 or green 33, blue 71.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, and last question for you. What does the acronym ATG stand for in powerlifting? You can say it.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
ATG?
ATG.
Powerlifting. You got me on that one.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
All right, well, the answer is ass to grass.
Oh, for squats. Okay.
All right. Well,
Yeah. I disagree with that one. So, okay, that's why.
Well, you did a great job on the trivia questions. Thank you to Professor Carpenter for joining us today. And thanks to everyone behind CommLab to help with the scenes. And thank you for watching. Join us live next Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. on YouTube for another episode of CommCast.